Browns back at it on a Wednesday in week 18, Mary Kay, not a playoff week, a regular season week, the longest NFL season ever, about to come to an end for the Cleveland Browns. And they play the Bengals on Sunday. Case Keenum will start. We heard from Case Keenum today, and much to his chagrin, he had to answer questions about Baker Mayfield. Did you learn much about Baker from what Case had to say today?
Well, those two guys are very, very close. And Case Keenum was a huge Baker Mayfield fan heading into this season. And he's even more of a Baker Mayfield fan coming out of it. He had a front row seat to the fact that Baker Mayfield went out there, played injured, took hit after hit, never really complained about the fact that, they didn't always have a very good tackle situation and he was under siege a lot of the time. So it did tell me something. It really showed that Case Keenum respected the job that Baker did. And I think that says something.
Yeah, and then he kind of made the points he wanted to make. Obviously, he knew he was going to get asked about Baker, and he pointed out how tough he was. And you mentioned the not complaining, and I mean, he called it one of the toughest performances he's seen, which is saying something. This is a guy that has been around the league for a while.
Yeah, and he once again he watched him not only go out there and take hit after hit, but he watched him play with a fully torn labrum in his shoulder. He also played with a heel injury and a knee injury. And I remember one day when we were standing outside taping a video, you remember this too, someone who works with orthotics and things that have to do with foot injuries came and provided Baker with something that that he could put in his shoe to help deal with the pain. So I think there was probably a lot more going on there than we realized. And yes, I do think that that Case saw it all, knows it all, and I think if he had a vote, he would vote Baker back onto the island for next season.
Okay, there is a game on Sunday. And look, less than a week ago, we were talking about how important this game could be. Joe Burrow versus Baker Mayfield, all of this talk. Instead, we're going to have Case Keenum versus Brandon Allen. Of course, the Browns have long since been eliminated. And the Bengals, they still have some seeding they can play for, but obviously they're going to play it safe in this football game. They get to host either way, wild card weekend. So no Joe Burrow, no Joe Mixon, among others, Mary Kay. And of course, it just changes the complexion of this game entirely.
Yeah, Dan, I know you were watching very closely, as was I, the very tail end of that Cincinnati-Bengals game. It was 4 short days ago that the Browns were possibly going to have a chance for this game to be for all the AFC North marbles. And that crazy finish at the end that enabled them to beat the Chiefs 34-31 and win the AFC North turned this game into a completely meaningless game for the Cleveland Browns. And it just has such a sad feel to it for Browns fans and for the Browns. This was supposed to be an incredibly huge game. Now it means nothing. Baker's not here, and no one knows where this all is going. But as we've talked about before, there are still a lot of great things on this football team, and I still think the future is pretty bright.
Yeah, I think things still look good for the most part here, especially as they figure out what they want to do at the quarterback position. But on Sunday, well, we're not doing the ticket sales staff at the Browns any good here. It's not going to be pretty. But whatever happens, look, we're going to cover it. That's what we do. It'll all be at cleveland.com/Browns.